Okay, I have stayed my first night at Molly's Ridge Shelter, and I'm about 5 miles up beyond that. Up here there's some like little balds, and you can see kind of probably a little bit too hazy or whatever to see, but I can see Fontana Lake off down in there. And then as we turn around, that's where I'm going to be going. Thunderhead Mountain and Rocky Top. So I've got a little bit of a climb ahead of me. It's extremely hot. The hike up from Fontana yesterday was just brutal for me. The heat was bad. The humidity was horrible. The climb was actually a little bit more intense than what I thought it might be. So it took me quite a while to get up to the shelter. On the way up to the shelter, probably a couple miles up from Fontana, I came across a doe, and she wasn't afraid of me at all. She was on the trail in front of me, and then she stepped off to the side and came up to her, talked to her a little bit. I could have reached out and touched her, but I didn't. And then, probably about three and a half miles back, had my first bear encounter. I came around a little bit of a bend in the trail, and about 25 yards in front of me was a young mother, and I saw her probably about 2-3 seconds before she saw me. And when she saw me, she immediately scrambled, and she had 2 little cubs with her, and they went down the hill a little bit, and they all scrambled up the trees. Stood there and watched her for just a little bit, and then went on my way. She did huff a little bit. She was just wanting to get me out of the way. So, man, I'm really sweating right now. The sweat in my eyes is so bad. Burns. So you can see I've got 5.9 miles to the Derrick Knob Shelter. That's where I'm planning on, that's where I was intent on staying the night. Here's a trail boundary. I don't know if you can see this right here. We're at 4,950 feet. That was set back in 1963. The marker was. But anyway, I'm going to. My permit says I'm supposed to stay at Derrick's Knob. Now, I don't know. At some point, I'd like to get out ahead of myself a little bit, because the way that my shelters are all set up, I'm going to have to do like a 17-mile day up here, and I really don't want to do that. So if I'm feeling good when I get to Derrick's Knob, I might jump out to the next shelter. I think a lot of the rangers up here that serve as trail runners to check your permits, I've been told that they haven't been coming out. So I might be able to get by with this. But now the shelter I stayed at last night, Molly's Ridge, there was quite a few people there. It was over capacity. I tented, so I was cool with that. So anyway, big climb ahead of me. Just kind of want to give you an update on what's going on, but it's really hot and humid out here. So actually, as rough as it was for me, I talked to some, there's actually still some through hikers, and I told them the mileage I've been doing over the course of my section hikes, and they seemed to be really surprised that I was doing that well. So anyway, I'm going to get off here.